Welcome back to Talkin Shop with ShopSabre. In this podcast, we like to tackle the CNC industry specifically and really talk a little bit about business in general. Hopefully you'll find some entertainment throughout it and hopefully some education. But the next episode starts right now. Thank you for joining us for another episode here of Talking Shop. I am your host, Brandon Bombardo. I am here with Nick Peters.
Hello, Brandon. How's it going?
Oh, not too bad, man. Each week, we're hoping to entertain you guys while entertaining ourselves and talking a little bit about the CNC industry, about business, all the fun things. But our next episode is going to be a good one, I think. We're going to talk a little bit today about, what are we talking about today? I don't remember now. My brain went blank.
All the rain we've had here in Minnesota?
We're talking about the rain. That's right. We're talking a little bit about the rain. No, we're going to talk, a little bit about SabreNation University today. That's what we were talking about. And what is it? Why does it matter? Talk a little bit about that. It's a really good topic. I'm excited to talk about that later on. But we are going to talk about the rain. We're going to talk a little bit about the rain because it's been ridiculous around here. And then we're going to bring you The Internet is Broken, bring you customer questions and comments, motivational quote of the week, and then the audience question before we wrap it all up. So a lot to cover today in a little time. Got a late start today.
We got all the time in the world now.
All the time? Nope, I got another meeting.
At least I do.
I got to go to another meeting. So, but
is it a meeting that could have been an email?
I don't know if it's. No, I don't think so though.
Hopefully the person you're going to meet with doesn't hear this.
I hope they hear it. I hope they get to make fun of you now. It's been ridiculous, dude. I literally have lakefront property now.
Minnesota is now known as the land of 19,000 lakes, not 10.
Yeah, I have lakefront property.
There's giant ponds in every field you drive by.
Dude, I'm not kidding.
It's crazy.
You. My backyard is a pond. Can
you get more for your house now since it's?
I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about trying to sell before it dries up because I'm thinking I might be able to put a dock out there.
Get out before the mosquitoes form, huh?
Dude, I threw mosquito pellets and all the puddles all over the place because I'm like, I know what this is going to turn into.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I was out there. I was a crazy guy throwing mosquito pellets everywhere.
You didn't take the lawnmower out, did you?
Nope. Didn't go wake surfing with the lawnmower.
I saw a guy on my way home from Northfield yesterday mowing his lawn on like a side hill, and it was nothing but like
sheer water
tracks back and forth across the lawn. I'm like, man, why would you make your yard look like that?
You have to. What do? Not mow?
I mean, you got a riding lawnmower. You can thatch that stuff down after a few days of drying. You might have to bale it, but sell it to the farmer down the road.
Exactly. Well, he doesn't need to. At this point, he's got his own problems to deal with.
Yeah.
But it's been ridiculous. We've gotten a ton of rain. I got how much? 4.5 inches of rain, I think, yesterday is what I got.
Yeah, I had like 6.2 at my house.
Is that what it was?
We got a ton. The roads were underwater for about an hour after it rained. It was crazy. I haven't seen it rain that hard for that long of a time.
Yeah, ridiculous.
In a long while.
Same here. Like literally, I was getting nervous. My backyard was literally. I'm not joking when I say lake. It was like filling up. Couldn't see the grass anymore. Like I live at the bottom of a hill, and so all the water was running down the hill and like into my yard. Like, dude, it was just filling up my yard. I didn't know what to do.
So you got your snowmobile on going water skipping.
I thought about it. Dude, Justin Jefferson signed the biggest contract in NFL history. Is that right?
Yeah, they backed up the Brinks truck and paid him, huh?
Just beep, 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 beep. Franchise sold out.
I mean, pretty much now what you have to do nowadays. I mean,
the problem is, how do you pay anybody else now?
Well, thankfully they have a rookie quarterback that hopefully is on a 5-year cheap contract, and then have to see what happens in 5 years.
You know what really stinks though?
The fields outside.
The T-Wolves lost.
Yeah, I mean,
as soon as I got into it, they're out.
It's taken away. Yeah, it was a bummer, but
maybe I'm the problem. As soon as I got into it, they failed.
I mean, it could be.
Could it be me?
Maybe. Probably not, but you never know.
Starting to feel like it's me.
You were really into it though. Like you were talking to Curtis about it, and like
I never got into basketball in my life, but I'm like, I'm pro Minnesota sports. We need to pull it out. I don't care who it is. Let's just get it done. Sorry, fail.
But deep down, we were all prepared for what happened last week.
I knew it was going to happen. That's why Curtis was mad at me. I think I'm going to get fired because of it.
Hey, it was pretty impressive to see him around after they won Game 3, though.
I'm surprised he showed up.
He was a different person.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised he showed up after Game 4. Absolutely
he showed up
shocked.
In his black shoes, black pants, black shirt.
Yeah, I'm surprised he showed up at all, to be honest with you. I was just happy he was here. Like, thank you for coming in. Can I get you a cake?
No, don't talk to me. Shut my door.
Yeah, shut my door. Don't talk to me. Yeah, so time zones, I guess, are confusing for you.
A little bit, but I think I got it figured out.
So your wife is out of town.
She is.
And she's supposed to come in next week.
next Wednesday.
And you did the math wrong and realized you're supposed to be at the airport during the day, not at night.
I mean, I just added 8 hours because they're flying for 8 hours, and didn't think of the fact that they're gaining 7 coming back that they lost when they left. So
you thought he just gave a few back?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I know you lost 7, but we're only going to take 4 back.
Yeah. So, accordingly, the world was ready to end at that point. And I'm like, it's okay. It'll be fine. Wednesdays are just
Did you remind her she knows who you are?
She knows.
Jokes on her.
Right.
You're an idiot.
She should have expected it. She should have known to follow up with me sooner if she was at work.
Yeah, you're like, listen up, babe. I'm an idiot. What do you want from me?
But that's why she brought it up, because she knew if she would have just assumed that I was there on time, she'd be at the airport for Wednesday and be like, oh, where are you at? Oh, I'm stuck in traffic. I'll be there in 24 minutes.
The boat is breaking up.
She's like, oh, shocking. Your work is about 24 minutes from the airport. That means you didn't leave yet, right?
Like, no, I'm stuck in traffic. It's really backed up.
It's snowing.
It's snowing. Oh, ridiculous. So, that was fun. Nope. I don't know. I thought it was pretty humorous. I'm listening to you have that conversation with her.
It was pretty funny.
But yeah. Anyways, I mean, let's move on to this week's topic. If nothing else, let's talk a little bit about something that I find interesting, and hopefully our viewers will as well. But SabreNation University, we talk about it a lot, but we've never really dove into it, right?
Right.
We say it. You hear the name, SNU, SabreNation University, however you want to refer to it. But it's like, what is it? Why does it matter? What does it mean to the consumers or the people who are considering purchasing even? If you're listening to this and you're like, what's the big deal? Who gives a crap?
I mean, to me, I think it's like the most important tool we have for our customers.
I agree.
Personally, that's just my take. But anytime any question comes up, you pretty much can direct them to a video on the university. It's going to help them, especially like if it's after hours and they can't get a hold of somebody in tech, or a weekend or whatever, and it's something minor they want to fix, they can hop on there and typically find a solution.
Yeah, I would second that. It's one of the top, most important tools. I guess I don't know what I'd call it like the most important, because I still think the most important tool we have is the resource of actually calling a real human being here in the United States and getting tech support. But it's a close second. And I think it's a close second because in today's world, not many companies invest in their customers after the sale.
Right, for sure.
I think the vast majority of companies have gotten to that quick sale mentality, right? Make the sale, move on.
Well, and I think too, a lot of those types of places, you can find the answer to your question on a website like YouTube, or find a way to work through it. It's not going to be specific to what you have probably, but you can probably find an answer. That's
probably why so many people don't focus on supporting their clients anymore, is that they're like, they'll find the answer online. They'll figure it out. There's enough YouTubers out there, right, that create their own videos like, hey, this is a problem I ran into and this is how I fixed it. And so people just go out and learn that way. I still do it when I go out, like working on a race car part that I don't know what I'm doing. I go find a YouTube video. I did it the other day. I was on my race car. I had a new distributor and it wasn't locked out. For anybody who doesn't know anything about distributors, you can lock out a distributor, which takes away the timing advance in it, and it essentially just locks it into position. It's supposed to make more power, allows the car to be more consistent. But nevertheless, my new distributor did not have that, and therefore I had to lock it out myself. I've never done it, so there was no instruction. I got this kit, shows up, right, parts. Fairly straightforward, I thought, until I couldn't figure it out. And I'm like, well, this isn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. So maybe I'm missing something. So I went to YouTube, looking for people who have done it, right? Rather than going to the company who sold me the part, they didn't have anything. So I just start going on this wild goose chase on YouTube. I found some guy in his backyard, in his little lean-to, shows me on his Chevy 350 how he did it. And I watched the video and I realized, it's way easier than I was making it out to be. I was actually overcomplicating it, and it was super simple to do. But I self-taught myself through YouTube. And I, at that moment, was sitting there thinking, and I'm like, you know what? There's not enough companies that put resources into their customers. And, for ShopSabre to put the amount of resources into developing content and spending the time to build videos and articles and, just things that the customer can benefit from. I think it's undervalued.
For sure. I mean, even something like, it's not on SabreNation University, but even the groups that we have on Facebook that are just for owners, right? You can kind of get the same type of things there as far as, throwing up a simple question to, maybe not a simple question for you, but a question that could be simple for somebody else to answer. You don't have a lot of companies that have private groups like that aren't, just a nonstop, uncontrolled environment of craziness, right?
Right. Well, I joke about that because, that's the thing I think about. Let's talk about SabreNation University here. I'm going to get back to what you just said there because I let's not forget that comment. But so everybody understands, SabreNation is a resource for education, okay? SabreNation University specifically is the idea of teaching you how to do something, right? Learning, and whether it be the courses we have here at ShopSabre, we have free training courses that every customer gets access to. But then we also have videos that are, online, accessible by private access only. So you have to have the SabreNation University access code, and you get in there and you can learn, and again, it keeps that resource locked up to just customers. And then outside of that, there's actually a user group associated with that, SabreNation. And that is also another opportunity for people to connect and share and educate and just help one another out. And these three things together creates this SabreNation University. And we actually have a really cool new logo coming out soon on it that Rodney created. Rockstar dude.
It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty sweet. I'm pretty excited about the logo, and we're going to start promoting it a little bit more. But back to your comment when you said, like, how many people have a group that's that, like closed off private where you can ask questions and do that. And there's not many, right? I mean, Nowadays everything's a public forum and, voices of voices, and let everybody just spew their crap, right?
It's the broken internet like we talked about, right?
Like exactly. And that's why I love our group. Our group is not like that. Like, it's private for a reason. Because for one, I'm keeping out the crap.
Yep.
Like, I don't want people in there that just troll people all the time. Like, I don't have time for it. You don't have time for it. We're real business owners and real business people that are actually trying to act in a professional environment. And once in a while, you get one of those people in the group that are going to try to turn it into what the internet is everywhere else.
Yep.
And I'm very pointed of that doesn't happen in this group. Like, nope, not going to do that here. Like, we get it under control because for us, it's a tool. It's a resource to help people build that sense of camaraderie, right?
Yep.
Being able to develop a sense of pride, like we all own this product together and we all want the same thing at the end.
And you don't want people to be afraid to interact and help others.
Right. Well,
they know that they can go in there and post and ask questions, and they're not going to get harassed and dragged through the mud for asking something that somebody else may consider simple, that obviously
Correct.
Somebody that's new to it can struggle to figure out, right?
Do you own a Blackstone?
I do.
You in the Blackstone group?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying it. It's like, to call that out, that's exactly that. Like, when you don't know how to do something, and I see it all the time. People will post something in the Blackstone group and they're like, oh, I have this going on with my Blackstone. What do I need to do? And people just destroy them.
I know.
And I'm like, I always private message those people, to be honest with you. Like, I've probably sent 100 private messages in my life on that group and just been like, hey, I know nobody else is going to give you a real answer, so here's the answer.
Yep.
And I help people out and just provide some feedback. But it's like, those groups get so bad that it's like, I would never post in that group. Like, no matter what my question, I will never post in that group because of the fact that I'm just there to learn. Like, some people do post some really cool recipes and things like that. That's what I'm there for. Right. But otherwise, to be honest with you, if I ever needed help, I would not reach out on that group.
Heck no.
They destroy people. So it's just one of those things where that's the internet is broken in a gist of things. But
without a doubt. Which,
we're going to talk about that actually here in a little bit. But for me, SabreNation University is a resource that we want people to be able to be confident in. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I need help. Who has done this before me? Let's get that question out there and not be afraid to ask it, because I'm going to get real qualified information.
For sure.
And that's why I'm so protective of that group and so over the top about making sure I'm involved, because I want people to see that there's a level of professionalism at this group that you can trust. It's not even about the machine sometimes. I mean, we get a lot of people that are out there I'm buying an air compressor. What do you recommend? Or, hey, water separators. What do you recommend? Or, I had a guy on there that just not too long ago that posted about, he was talking about he posted a really awesome picture of his ShopSabre cutting cabinet doors. And he's like, love this machine, created all these doors on it, but hey, what are you guys doing to finish these doors? Talking about paints and stains, And I thought that was cool because it's has nothing to do with a machine per se, right?
Yep.
But he's utilizing the resource around him of other cabinet makers and other people who have that experience of hey, what are you using?
Yep.
And it's just, where else do you go to get that information? One of those groups that are going to trash you?
you'd never get an answer.
Right. So like he was able to go out there and, he had within the, first few minutes of posting, I mean, there was like 4 or 5 comments of like actual recommendation. Like, hey, this is what I use. This is the finish I recommend. Like just super cool. And then I've heard stories from customers who've reached out to me and they've connected with other users in that group and become friends with them.
Yep.
Like actual like acquaintances, that have turned into friends, like, hey, yeah, we all have the same machine, but then getting to know people and then they work together or, they've partnered with other people and been able to produce more with their business by having this resource of other businesses that connect them. So SabreNation University is more than just like a training video, but it's actually like, it's a networking group, right?
And I think you leave the university part off the end and just the SabreNation part, right? It's just it's a big group of everybody and everything trying to just work together for one common goal, right?
Right. And that's what I love about it is it's a way to really enhance the user experience, the satisfaction, and really the overall growth, right?
Yep.
You grow as a customer by having more resources around you.
Absolutely.
And, the best way to get that is, so anybody who has a ShopSabre right now, they're like, what? This all exists? Yeah. Just go right to our website, ShopSabre.com. Click on technical support. And in there is the SabreNation University page. You can log in there and get access to that. So a lot of cool things there. If you own a ShopSabre, you can also add SabreNation University or SabreNation user groups on Facebook, and can get access there by answering some of the questions and getting into that group. But we are very private about it. I mean, if you don't have a machine, yeah, you can answer the questions all you want with, I'm getting ready to buy one, and I'm still not going to let you in. It's not about a sales thing. Like, and I know it sounds bad because I've had people like, oh my God, I'm not buying from you because you won't let me in the group. Well, then I'm sorry. Like it's a private access group, members only kind of a deal.
I mean,
like,
people can say whatever they want to get in, right?
Correct.
Doesn't mean they have good intentions.
Like you're not going to manipulate your access with money on that one for me. Right. Like I didn't create SabreNation and SabreNation University for the profit. I created it for the experience.
Right.
And so for me, it's like, I don't use it as a selling tool. It's not meant to be a selling tool. So you telling me like, I'm only going to do it if you get me access to the group. Like, no, because there's nothing to stop you from going in and taking the customer files that our customers have saved and put out there for public use and then not buying a machine and then selling them to other groups.
Right.
So no, I'm not going to do that. Like I've made a commitment to my customers that I'm going to give them this private access group and I intend to keep it.
100%.
So there.
Yeah. What he
take
said.
it. Right?
Or leave it.
Either way, that's what we're doing. So I think, when we explain SabreNation University, hopefully that gives you a better understanding of like, what is it? Why is it so important? Because to me, it's important because it's a level of support beyond anything that exists.
Yep. And I'll just put this out there too. If people are hearing about this that are customers of ours that are wondering where that information might be, it's in the welcome email that we sent the day after you place your order. If you've misplaced it, you can shoot me an email. I can get you the information if you need it to get in, and you'll be on your way to success.
You're the best. Thanks, Nick.
I try.
Yeah, you do. You usually try. You try your best.
Yes.
Like trying to show up to the airport on time. You tried.
Just glad it's not way up north.
Hey, easy now. So anyways, bringing us with that to our next section. The internet is broken. So let's talk about the internet being broken. We just piggybacked off it in the last segment about, SabreNation University and how it's like the best group ever and you don't have to deal with all the crap and the nonsense of the internet. But let's talk about the internet being broken and commenting on posts to simply stir the pot. That's what I want to talk about. This isn't an example today. Today is just like talking about a topic related to
like
it.
Like a broad sweeping paintbrush.
It's the biggest brush that you have in your toolbox, right?
I do it on my weather page all the time just for fun.
Why do people do that though?
Well,
like it's your page, okay? It's one thing to like,
but it's not being mean though. I guess there's two different ways to stir the pot. Isn't there?
I don't know. I don't think there is.
Just like being funny and bringing up old topics that are funny, like Rogers, Minnesota. That's funny. That's not like...
Okay, yeah, but that came from somebody being the internet is broken.
True.
Like, that's my point. The person who decided to break the internet.
Did you see what I did today?
I did. I saw.
It was really funny.
The person asked where Eastern Minnesota was.
The right side of the picture.
You said the right side of the picture.
It was a valid answer. And it might have been a little smart alecky. Well, it's right, though.
It is funny, though. But my point being is, like, why go on somebody else's post, right? That's
For
my
sure.
thing.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at it. Like, it's one thing if it's your post, right? You're responding to a fairly straightforward question, right?
And 95% of the people on that page understand that
that's the humor you have.
good-natured funny. Like, it's
that's the tone. But
it's
like,
different than somebody going on the Ford page and just doing it to just do it.
That's my point, is like, why do people find the need to go on random posts? It goes back to the Blackstone comment.
Yep.
Right? It's one thing when you make a lighthearted joke about how, something, like, I don't even know. I don't have an example. But like, to go out there and just like start trying to break the internet, like to trash somebody or bring them down. Like, I just don't understand that, like, stirring the pot. Like, when, when people are like, oh my God, I have a rust stain on my Blackstone.
Cook bacon.
And people respond back with, just sell it, right?
Yeah.
That's funny. It's funny. You're being funny. Like, I get it. But like, the people who like legit like rip people apart over it, like, dude, seriously wonder, he has a rust spot on his cooking surface. Like, what does he do?
He's probably used the thing 3 times.
Right.
It's sat on some humidity. He's never used it before.
Right.
He's had it for 2 weeks, and now he's like, what's happening? What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, like, he's worried.
Like, legit looking for an answer.
Yeah.
And then he just gets roasted.
And people go out there and just stir the pot,
Yeah.
like start things. And like, that's the other thing for me is like, when somebody has a problem with a product, like, I see it all the time. Like, there was a guy, I'm sorry, I'm going to call him out a little bit right now, but hopefully he doesn't listen to us. Ford page.
Sorry, Chad.
Yeah, sorry, Chad. But the Ford page, they did an update to the app. I don't know if you have a Ford or not, but they have an app that like remote unlocks your truck and car, and they did an update. And he obviously had an issue with his app. Like, something happened after they did the update, right? And instead of like uninstalling the app and just reinstalling it, which is probably all it took, he went on there and he's like, oh my God, this app's so terrible. And like, starts trashing Ford, like just going off. And literally the next 50 comments was people telling him it was only his problem because all of our apps were working fine. And I'm like, why do you go out there to stir the pot? Like, you went out there with the intention of like, I'm going to get Ford good on this one.
Right.
And it backfired on him in that case. But like,
Again, you should know better though. Like, if you're doing that, like, I feel like sometimes
the internet's broken.
People just do that because they know people and they just sit back and laugh at it, right?
Maybe that's what it is. They got me talking on a
maybe.
podcast about it.
They did.
Ridiculous is all I know.
I don't know. I'm just trying to give people too much credit.
The internet was broken is all I know. Like, it's just, I don't understand the idea of going out on somebody else's post, making comments that are unnecessary.
Maybe if you like keep fighting this battle long enough,
people will
you'll
stop
fix
breaking
the internet.
I'm not going to ever be able to fix the internet. It's just getting out of control more.
You never know.
Every day I can find 10 more examples of the internet is broken. I don't ever run out of these ones. So
You're right.
This is pretty easy.
Okay, it's not going to get fixed. Customers'
Questions and their comments. So let's talk a little bit about the Sean video. The last Sean video we did. I was pretty excited about it. We did a video on cutting closets, right?
We did.
And we did we got a lot of good feedback from that. We had people asking us about the fasteners and things like that. So we get a lot of good questions and comments on that. But I want to go back to 2 videos ago, and that was the Sean video that we did on the slat wall. Do you remember that one?
Vaguely.
We created slat wall using a CNC machine, which is pretty cool.
You remember, I can't remember what time to be at the airport, let alone a video from 2 months ago.
Gonna say that. I'm glad that you beat me to that punchline. But we had a customer of ours comment on there, and he just asked, what tooling do we recommend? And I thought, let's talk about it here. We recommend the Vortex tool. Vortex makes some tooling for building slat wall. Really awesome. So check them out. Contact them. But my favorite thing about his comment wasn't just like he asked what tool to use, but then he made this really awesome comment. And that's what I want to talk about. He said, we've had our ShopSabre going on 2 years now. Would never go back. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
It makes my heart happy because it means that we did our job. Like, bought the machine, invested in it, and he would never go back to not having a machine. Specifically, not going back to not having a ShopSabre. And it was kind of cool. If you're listening right now, thank you for the comment. It is awesome. I love to hear the success stories. They never get old to hear. Right. I mean, I hear them all the time, but they never get old. I truly love it.
I think obviously we know the product we produce, right? But actually, like, hearing not the people just that say how much they love their ShopSabre, but how much it's changed their business and how much it's improved the quality that they can do, the amount of work they can do, the amount of revenue they bring in from their machine. Those are the stories that are awesome to hear. Because obviously we know we put out a great product, but hearing it firsthand from those people, how it changes their lives is awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it's fun to, I've always told the story about like building the American dream. And watching my dad build this company, right? Because of a necessity, right? Dad didn't want to cut hearts and roosters and chickens out of bands all the rest of his life.
Can't blame him.
Can't blame him. So he, gets this machine, company, going based off of the fact that of a need and a necessity. But what I think is cool is it's like how many people we've been able to affect over the years, like being able to change their lives. And there's so many fun stories and so many things that, like, when I hear them, sometimes it's just like I stop and just think, like, all off of my mom wanting to have hearts and roosters cut out of wood every day.
It's really kind of crazy, isn't it?
Right.
I mean, just
like that's what it started as. Dad was going to have to cut hearts and roosters, and now we are a CNC manufacturer.
It's sweet.
It's kind of cool.
I mean, just like in my 2 years of being here, maybe.
Jeez, it's been that long?
A year and a half.
I mean,
maybe a year and a half.
It doesn't seem that long.
But just like the amount of stories I've heard in a year and a half, like, and then to think about how many you guys have heard in 20 years, 24 years, it's nuts.
It's the fun thing about that is it's like I forget them,
Yep.
right? Because you hear them so often, like you forget some of the emotion stories, the emotional ones. But there's several of them that I've never forgotten, and I'll never forget that. Just cool things to hear from people. But yeah, like you said, you've been here 2 years ish, year and a half ish, whatever. We can't figure that out.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, who knew? 7 hours, 5 hours, who knows? But yeah, it's one of those things where, like, there's just always a positive story that comes out of, like, equipment and people's, evolution of their business. So something I love. But moving on, next question that we got was, why does ShopSabre use ball screws primarily on the rotor? And the simple answer is because they're better. Like, they're just a better technology. And I know it sounds like cliche and people are sitting there like in uproar right now. Like, they're not better. No, they really are. Like, there's no argument to be had here. So save your breath, because ball screws by nature are made of ball bearings. Ball bearings don't have points, don't have teeth. They hold a better accuracy long term, okay? Yep. It's why every machine uses a linear guide bearing, right? It's just the nature of the technology. And that's why we utilize it. It's not that, like, you can't achieve good stuff with rack and pinion. Let me be very clear. You can still achieve some good results there, but it takes more concentration to do so. And what I mean by that is you have to have a higher grade rack and pinion. You have to have a higher grade controller. You have to do some stuff within the electronics to compensate for the inherent backlash that goes into a rack and pinion system. So as you start to look at, like, why does ShopSabre use a ball screw? It's because we're trying to eliminate some of those additional costs that you would have to invest to achieve the same standards. And so for us, when we set out to build CNC machines, when Dad came up with this, it was about bringing CNC technology to the fingertips of people who otherwise would not have been able to afford it at that price point. And so when Dad first got this company going, I mean, machines were like $250,000. That's what they were. There wasn't a lot of machines. I mean, Chinese machines didn't exist. Remember that. Like, when Dad started this, like, there was no such thing as a Chinese CNC machine. It didn't exist.
So was there
was nothing.
I mean, it was just, it wasn't like there is now, where there's many other high-end, low-end, mid-end type of thing.
There was no such thing as putting a CNC machine in your house.
It was all this big manufacturing.
It was huge machine. Yeah, machines were the size of, like, I want to say pickup trucks, but that's not even right. Like, bigger than pickup trucks. Like, they were massive machine. They would take up this whole room, like massive machines. And so you were investing $250,000, $500,000, and they were designed for big manufacturing, companies. And so they were these huge machines, and sales guys would go out and wine and dine you. And, it was like the old, like, drive around shop to shop and convince people to spend, $500,000.
Yeah.
And when Dad got into this, it was like, how can I take that mass and that size and, a lot of the technology they're utilizing, but make it affordable? And so, like, my dad was like, let's just scale it down. It doesn't need to be as big of a machine. Like, it can be more like, it doesn't need to produce 1,000 sheets a day.
Sure.
It needs to produce 10 sheets a day. Like, that was the mentality back then, right?
So you just take all the parts that they're using to build theirs
and just
scale it down by whatever 25%.
Scalability essentially. And my dad was big into engineering. My dad is a wicked smart dude when it comes to that. So yeah, my dad did, like, all the, calculations and whatnot, and built the first ShopSabre that way. And so, like, that's how it came about, is that all of the companies back then were utilizing, they were mills and whatnot. And so they were using these ball screw drive systems. It was very common. But machines back then were really slow. So ball screws worked fine because they didn't have to go fast. Because back then you used to spin the screw.
Sure.
not the or not the nut. So you spin the screw, but it didn't have a problem because like they're not spinning very fast. I mean, machines were big and slow. And so fast forward as the world gets crazier and busier, everything has to go faster nowadays, everything. And so nowadays machines are going so fast that you had to come up with the next technology. And that was like the rotational ball nut, not the ball screw, which eliminates the need to spin the screw really fast, which gets rid of all the concerns with, whip and all the stuff that goes on there. So there was a whole level of like evolution in the ball screw technology. And that's what's allowed CNC machines to get faster and why our machines can keep up nowadays. But inherently, rack and pinion is always faster. Like that's the advantage of the rack and pinion is there's just no rotational mass to it, right? So
just going straight back.
No resistance. Yeah, it's just really, really fast. But the problem is fast is not accurate 99% of the time, right? You can be really, really fast in a straight line. It's like I always said, dragsters are really fast. They don't corner worth a shit.
Yep.
Like, trust me, try taking a right-hand turn with a dragster at 200. Like, it doesn't work. So it's that same mentality, right? Like, you can't have the best of both worlds. You can't have the most accurate machine and, the fastest always. Like, you're usually going to give up something somewhere. And don't get me wrong, we have very fast machines nowadays. Mm-hmm. But yeah, could we go faster if it was just rack and pinion? Absolutely. But will we cut at those speeds? No, because the reality is then you start getting back to rack and pinion, having limitations there. But yeah, there are machines that are rack and pinion that can cut really, really fast. It does happen. And then there's machines that can cut really accurate with rack and pinion. Those happen too. But generally speaking, they creep up in price point again. You're back to the $100,000 plus, dollars to get into those markets. And a lot of the average customer we sell to it, this is their introduction to automation. It's their first machine or their second machine.
Yep.
They're not looking for the $500,000 investment. They're looking for the ability to bring automation into their shop and really take things to the next level. And that's the benefit of what we've done with using ball screws is we've been able to bring a level of success, precision, quality to the fingertips of people who otherwise would have never had access to that. And yeah, it's not like what everybody else is doing. And half the sales guys out there are going to tell you it's not as good as what they're doing because it's not what they're doing. But like we have technical specs and technical facts to back up everything we've said. And sure. I think our reputation kind of speaks for itself.
Absolutely.
So there it is. That's why.
Well, that was the exact answer I was going to give to the question that I was going to read. So thanks for taking that over for me.
No problem. I thought you looked tired.
It's been a really, really hectic week of having nobody at home.
So we had another question the other day. This is an easier answer, not as long-winded, but when will the ShopSabre TC series be available to purchase?
Now.
The answer is now. It's available. You can buy it. You can put your order in. We're starting to build them. We're starting to deliver them. Get your TC. That's not what you think it is. It's not like TC Bear.
No.
It's not Twin Cities.
I was thinking something to do with tacos. It's Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, TC's not tacos. It's not Twin Cities.
Taco Crunchy?
It's not Taco Crunchy. Nope. It's definitely still not tacos.
Tube cutter.
Tube cutter. There you go. It's a tube cutter, which also can do pipe.
Yes.
Tube and pipe cutter. We got the round version, and then we got the round, square, rectangle version, and angle iron.
And it's really sweet.
It is pretty cool.
It's really cool.
Like I never get tired of watching it run.
No, I'd still like click on my pictures in my folders and just look at how cool the stuff is.
Yeah.
It's really cool looking.
Yeah, you and I spent a whole day taking photos and videos of one.
We did.
It was fun.
Still trying to figure out how to save them correctly so they can be put on the website. But
well, you know what? Someday you'll get there. Oh, speaking of the website, you and I have to update some photos.
They are all ready to go.
Are they?
They are. I told you they'd be ready to go by the time you got back.
So proud of you.
I'm not here to let you down every day.
Not every day.
I had 4 days off. I better come in figuring something out right today.
That's funny. But yeah, the tube cutter's available. It's really awesome. If you're a roll cage manufacturer, you do railings. If you're getting into, any type of pipe or tube where you got to, do a lot of processing of that material, we got a machine for you. So check it out. Go to our website right now. There's a banner that pops up. Boom. Right when you get there. Click on that. It'll bring you right to the page. You can check it all out.
And you'll see some really sweet stuff that it can do.
Sweet stuff.
Yeah. Does that make brake pedals?
You had to go there, didn't you?
It's a fair question.
Why don't you bring it to the audience? They want to know why you're talking about brake pedals.
I'm not trying to. No, I'm not going to. I just genuine question.
My brake pedal broke off in my race car, and of course now he's not going to let me live it down.
I'm just trying to help.
They do not make brake pedals.
Okay. Well, we know.
Thanks.
We'll have to use our other machine to make you one. So we have a sidekick machine down there too.
My sidekick could help me out. Oh my God. Moving on.
Just don't use the brakes, man.
I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a pedal.
And then you try to run a victory lap when you finish 9th.
Couldn't stop.
I still wish I would have been there for that. That would have been awesome.
Oh, I hate you.
Sorry.
Motivational quote of the week. Today's motivational quote is, don't have
use the
friends
brake.
like Nick. I actually have two things I want to talk about in the motivational quote. The motivational quote of the week, though, is life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. In other words, don't try to solve everything in the world, right?
Right.
Sometimes there's not a problem that has to be solved. Just enjoy the moment, experience it. Sometimes you need to embrace the experience and make the most of everything. Don't always look for the resolution to everything.
Well, and I think there's no way you're going to solve everything in life, right?
Right.
Like there's always more things to figure out and learn and do, and nobody's perfect, so do what you can, right?
Don't allow yesterday's burdens to come into today. Every day you wake up
That was
is
last
the
week, wasn't
start.
it? Did you say that last week?
No.
Oh,
Every day you wake up is the start to the rest of your life.
that's right.
It's the first day of the rest of your life. Every day. So enjoy it, right? But life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. So that is my motivational quote of the week for you this week. Find a way to find the positive in every situation. Keep moving forward. Keep enjoying life. That's where I'm at with that.
What was the second part you had?
The second thing I was going to say is, you know how I always say I don't want to be the smartest man in the room?
Yep.
I read something the other day that actually kind of hit on that. It said, if you're the smartest man in the room, you're standing in the wrong room. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that
Makes
one.
a lot of sense.
Yeah, so you don't want to be the smartest man in the room. Otherwise, you're in the wrong room.
Right.
Got to embrace smarter people around you.
I feel like you should probably just stay downstairs then.
Oh, I'm in the right room.
Anytime you're upstairs with us.
Never the smartest man in the room, ever. I like right where I'm at. I got a lot of smart people around me. A lot of you guys are smarter than me.
What else you got?
That's all I got. That's all I got on that one.
That's it.
You got nothing else there? You got to
No.
have something.
Well, I mean,
No, nothing. Okay.
audience questions.
Okay, we'll go to audience questions. This week's audience question: what event, holiday, or gathering each year do you look forward to most?
There's
And
only
go.
one answer to this question. Thanksgiving.
No,
What do you mean?
it says event, holiday, or gathering. It doesn't have to be a holiday.
But there's only one answer. I mean,
I love Thanksgiving.
that's the one I look forward to the most.
That if you were
Well-
if it said what's the holiday, then I'd say Thanksgiving. But it says event as well, and I know dang well you look forward to the Masters every year.
You're right. Okay, so event. Yeah, you're right. Masters.
I knew it.
Holiday, Thanksgiving.
Okay,
Gathering, the ShopSabre Twins game, so we can just devour some glizzies.
there it is. There it is. Let's go. You made my day. Let's go.
ShopSabre.com.
There it is.
Okay, event. Man, I don't know if I have like an event that I look forward to every year, like a
First
specific.
race of the season.
No, not really. I hate the first race of the year. That's when everybody wrecks stuff because they're all jacked up on Mountain Dew, haven't raced for 6 months. They're going to wreck each other.
Oh, your brakes don't work.
Your brakes don't work. Yeah, that stuff could happen too. No, I don't know, buddy. For me, holiday is definitely Thanksgiving. I agree with you. Love Thanksgiving.
The one day a year that I can actually mix foods together and be okay with it.
I love Thanksgiving. It's good. Gathering, I actually am a fan of the wild game that we go to for the ShopSabre employee appreciation. That's my gathering. I like that. That's a lot of fun.
So how about a 1A and a 1B? Both of those things are great.
1A, 1B.
I mean,
Because you can also devour glizzies there. Is that why?
yeah, for sure. And
The chicken fingers there, bro.
tendies,
Yeah,
man.
chicken tendies. That's a wild game, man. Nothing bad. You know what I'm noticing? All of our things have to do with food. Thanksgiving, the wild game.
I don't keep this girlish figure by not enjoying that.
Oh, this is going terrible.
I guess I don't know if the Masters involves really. I mean, I guess
doesn't.
it does involve sitting on the couch eating Doritos and drinking Mountain Dew for 4 straight days because you don't want to leave the TV.
But that's like a legit, I knew you were going to pick Masters. I knew that, like, when I asked the question. But on my end, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the event would be.
Daytona 500? Not anymore.
Nah, not really.
Used to be.
Yeah, not really. I don't have one. I don't know if I have an event. Maybe 4th of July, like, events, like the parades and the fireworks. Maybe that would be my event. But
What about the first stop on Taylor Swift's World Tour?
It's definitely not that.
Dang it.
It's definitely not that one for me. Oh, man. I don't know about event. I'm trying to think of here. Nope, I don't have an event that stands out amongst the rest of them that I could like.
It's kind of surprising.
Maybe it's the start of hockey season. That's a pretty good event. Like my kids' hockey season, not my
I was
hockey
going to
season.
say, start of the wild season, you're just in for disappointment.
No,
with
like
that
my
too.
kids' hockey season. That is something I do look forward to. Is like placements, like doing the tryouts.
Yeah.
That time of the year is kind of fun. It's like when my kid tries the hardest, like that. I don't know.
And then it takes 7 days a week of your life for the next 6 months.
Dude, it never stops. I'm still in hockey. We had hockey this last Sunday.
It's 92 degrees and 70-degree dew point outside and you're playing hockey.
Dude, I couldn't see through the boards because it was so fogged up in there.
Does that actually happen?
Yeah, seriously.
Nice.
I couldn't see through the boards. Like it was the steam, like it was so bad.
I was going to say, is it like the beginning of the Mighty Ducks when the ice is all steamy? And
Yes.
Hey, fun fact, that goalie in that scene,
Yeah.
that's my cousin.
Really?
Yeah, with the foggy cold ice, the bull-legged dude skating out to center ice. Yeah, that's my cousin.
Really?
Yeah, and the goalie on the one where they like shoot the penalty shot, and he's like, "Oh, I hit the post." What? An eighth of an inch further, you'd have missed the whole net. Right? Is that something like that? Right? 'Cause
Yeah.
He hits the pipe and the guy's
That's
like,
your cousin?
It is. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is a fun fact.
Yeah.
Thanks for the fun fact of the day.
Learn something new every day, right?
I learned something. So for the audience, your question, I want to hear it. I want to see it. Either email us. You can send it to marketing@shopsabre.com, or you can post it on our Facebook post, our Instagram post, the YouTube post, wherever. But we want to know what event, what holiday, and what gathering each year do you look forward to most?
You know what would be really funny?
What?
Is if we just get like 200 pictures of dudes devouring Thanksgiving dinner. That's their favorite event.
I like some Thanksgiving dinner. Not going to lie to you. I wouldn't be disappointed. Not going to lie to
It'd
you.
be awesome.
So yeah, I want to know that. I want to know from the audience, what is your answer to my question? Last week's question, was where do you go when you're trying to research about a product? Overwhelmingly, Google.
Yep. Makes sense.
Overwhelmingly, the internet. That's where people went.
They don't have the answer. You don't need the answer.
That's basically what I'm thinking.
I know
It
what
sounds
it
like
comes
if it's
down
not
to,
on the internet, wasn't meant to be.
If you can't find it on the internet, your site's obviously broken.
Wait, what? Okay.
I don't know. I was making a joke about the internet being broken.
The internet is always broken.
Went over like a lead balloon, but that's
Like a lead balloon. Yeah, I want to hear what your answers are. So send them in. This episode's final thoughts. My final thought for the day is I absolutely love this podcast.
It's a good time.
I have a good time with it. Hopefully everybody else enjoyed it as much as I have this week. My thing is just find a motivation, find what you like about your job every single week. Tap into that. The things you don't like, fix. Find a way to make those things better. For a lot of our customers, the thing they do is they invest in equipment, right? CNC automation. Finding automation takes away the unnecessary evils of business, right? The labor burdens, the profit issues, all the stuff that goes into when you're building a product. So if you are a manufacturer and you're struggling with equipment you can't count on, tech support you can't get a hold of, or simply you're doing everything the hard way, make sure you check us out. Like I said, you can go to our website, ShopSabre.com. We have a lot of information out there, but we have people standing by every day looking to chat with you. They want to help you make the next step for making the rest of this year absolutely awesome. I mean, when you think about it, we're halfway through 2024 at this point.
That's ridiculous.
Halfway home.
State Fair's in like 3 months.
Let's go. Cookie Tour 2024.
Sweet Martha's cookies are the most overrated thing in the world.
You bite your tongue right now.
Nope.
I love me
I will
some
die
sweet.
on that hill.
I love Sweet Martha's
They're
cookies.
good for the first 2 minutes after you buy them, and then they're trash.
Good news. I have kids. I only get them for 2 minutes.
Well, and the good thing is it's always 180 degrees at the fair, so they stay hot for a long time.
They do stay warm.
Dill pickle lemonade. That's what you're going for.
Yuck.
We're gonna share a dill pickle lemonade.
We
this
are
year.
not sharing a dill pickle.
You can't say it's not
even
good
if
if
there's
you
a
haven't-
fire.
You haven't tried it. You can't say it's not good.
I don't like dill pickle.
What?
I'm not going to have dill pickle lemonade.
You don't put prickles on your burgers?
No.
What?
Negative.
Oh boy.
But you know what I do like at the State Fair?
Powerade Zero. Oh, the
Corn.
State Fair.
Corn.
You can get corn on the cob anywhere.
But not State Fair corn.
Is it
That-
different?
It is.
Why?
Delish.
Really? I've never tried
I
it.
go for like 6 of them.
Jeez.
It's so good.
It's fascinating. But it's corn. How can it be different? They throw it on the grill and burn it.
Well, when you put it that way, it sounds a lot worse than it actually is. It's terrible. You eat the corn and you watch people hurt themselves on the giant slide. It's great.
I don't like the fair, but that's another.
You don't like the fair?
For another show? No.
Oh, I love the fair.
I mean,
I could go every day.
I could if there wasn't
A big
people there.
people.
Yeah, it's just like Your ankles get slammed into by the double wide, triple wide strollers 5 times a day. People walk the wrong direction on the wrong side of the sidewalk. Like, dude, there's a left and a right for a reason. Half and half each way. Like, don't just go against the grain to go against the grain and be that guy.
The unwritten rule.
Like, let's do some common sense here. It's like, just go to your side. If you're walking through people and they have to like let go of their spouse's hand to let you through, you're on the wrong side of the sidewalk. Move to the other side.
I kind of want to go to State Fair with you this year. I just want to record you.
I keep it boiled into the
There it
drive
is.
home.
That's my event. I figured it out. My event is the State Fair. I figured it out. No.
I will go to the State Fair with you every single day as long as we can have a dill pickle lemonade together every day when we get there. The first thing we have to do, get off the bus. It's right inside the gate. Have a dill pickle lemonade, get off on the right foot, and then nothing will bother you for at least an hour.
Yep, we're not going to the State Fair.
We can just go get lemonade and leave.
Yuck. Yeah, just lemonade, regular lemonade. Yum.
I mean, spiked dill pickle lemonade is great.
Well, that was fun.
That was a weird tangent we got off on. But
Oh, that was a weird tangent. So that was my final thought. What's yours?
At least we got your favorite event figured out.
Yeah, no crap. We got that figured out.
My final thoughts.
Yeah.
The State Fair will be here before no time. It'll be snowing in 5 months. Get your machines on order before the end of 2024 while the lead times are low.
I like it.
While we can actually like get them out of Minnesota before it's covered with snow and ice. No, just kidding. That's not a problem. We can always get them out of here.
I was say you're not making valid cases here.
They know it's just jokes and we're just wrapping up.
Yeah, we're having fun.
Try not to beat a dead horse and make new jokes. You know, we use the same jokes over and over for 3 weeks straight. So
Yeah, well,
some new stuff.
Good news. We're going to use them next week too.
Perfect. You racing up north this weekend?
I am racing up north this weekend.
Wonderful.
As always, we appreciate each and every one of you listeners listening to us every week talk about things that a lot of times don't matter, but hopefully you find some humor in it and you've had some fun with us. But again, we appreciate you tuning in every week to another episode of Talking Shop. Again, we appreciate you guys tuning into this episode. Hopefully there was something that you took away from it. And with that, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Nick.
Thanks for Talking Shop with ShopSabre.